Hey guys, so today I'm going to declutter and reorganize this utility closet that we have here in the kitchen. This closet used to be organized at one time, but over the holidays it kind of got crazy, and I have wrapping paper that's in there, and I pulled that out so I could get to it easier, and it's just a big mess in there now. So, and then this little door at the bottom, that's just a little cat door. The previous owners had this cat door because they had a cat, and that's where they kept their cat litter box. But we don't have a cat. We just never changed the door out, so the little hole's still there. But I'm just going to show you the inside. So this is where the hot water heater is. We have this closet here that is our laundry area. And this is this utility closet area. So I did have our extra car seats on this top shelf for a while, but they've been taken out because they got used. My husband used them, and then they just got dropped off at the storage unit, so they're not in here right now. I don't know if I'm gonna bring them back and keep them in here. I mean, it is better to have them here at the house than at the storage unit if we need them, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that space yet. But it's just the new things that I bought, just threw up there. Swim stuff. This is like dog food and tools. This is dog stuff. This is the bucket I use to clean out the fish tank. And then these are just extra towels that we use like to wash the dogs and stuff like that. And then this is the wrapping stuff that got pulled out because it was pushed back under there against the wall. It was next to this storage bin, which this one holds like all the summer toys and things. And then there's some extra diapers that we don't need anymore, but still have those. And then there's some paint cans, and then the cleaning stuff. But a lot of this needs to come out. I don't know, we need to get rid of some things. And we just bought this freezer here because we always seem to have too many things in the freezer and it doesn't all fit up there. So we bought this freezer just recently. We got it this week, but it just looks too big here in this area. So I was thinking about moving it in here, and all of this stuff is just gonna go. So I'm gonna start taking everything out. I'm just gonna take everything out basically, and then start from scratch and only put back in here what we actually use and need. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I will show you when I'm done. Alright, so here is an empty utility closet, and it's so crazy when you take everything out and you see the amount of stuff that was in that closet. It's just so much mess. And this was in there too. So, alright, I'm gonna start going through this and see what I can do. Okay, so that's the closet with the freezer in it. Fits in there fine, there's plenty of room. So now that corner is open. I did have to take one of the shelves off. I mean, I guess I could put them closer together, maybe. I'm gonna see what I have to put on the shelves, and if there's enough room for all three shelves, I'll put all three up there, but I don't want it to be too high either, so we'll see. I may not use the third shelf. So this is where I've been keeping all of my wrapping supplies. So there's gift bags and tissue paper and boxes and things like that in here. And I did have it in here, but it's obviously not gonna fit in here anymore. I may go through and try to get rid of some things. I did do that right after Christmas, so I mean, I can probably get rid of more. And maybe just get something that I can hang over the door just to keep a few things. If I can find something like that, I may do that. But for now, I mean, I don't go in this that often. Just the occasional birthdays and things like that. But like I said, I don't use it that often. During the holidays is when I use it the most. But the holidays are over and I don't need it in here right now, so I think I'm gonna take it to our storage unit for now. until I end up going through the storage unit and getting rid of things and just leaving it in there. And the storage unit is not that far from our house, so if I really need something out of it, I can go by there and get it. But for now, that's where it's gonna go until I get to the storage unit decluttering, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do then. Alright, so all of this is like pet supply type items. So this whole bin is things for the dogs, and then of course the dog food, and this was a container that I put dry food in sometimes. So all of that is for the dogs, and then this is all for the fish, because I use this when I clean out the fish tank. And these are the extra filters, and then this is just extra fish supply, so I really don't use this at any time. So I can probably either put this somewhere else that I don't have to get to it very often, or I mean, I guess I can put it, if I did add another top shelf up there, put it at the very top because it's not something I need to get to. Or I can just take it to our storage unit until we don't have a fish anymore and then get rid of it. Because we just have one little fish left. We bought 4 fish in June of 2015. This June, if it makes it to June, we'll have had this fish for 2 years. So I have all of these supplies and this fish tank for this one little fish. I'm not planning on getting any more fish. So once this one's gone, all of that is going to go along with this stuff. I mean, you'll probably keep the bucket, but everything else is going. So I have to figure out what I really need to keep in here that we really use and what I can get rid of. Alright, so I have finished with what I'm going to do with it for now. I did move the freezer in here. This is a stool that we use in the kitchen a lot, so I just set it up front because it will probably be in and out of there pretty frequently. Of course, the little broom and dustpan gets used all the time, and our vacuum and the Swiffer. All of those are used pretty frequently. And then the paint cans are just going to stay there. Those are colors that have been used in the house, and we use them for touch-ups. And when we move, they're just going to stay here. We're not going to take those with us. And then here's the shelves. I did end up adding the 3rd shelf back. And these 2 bins were actually in the laundry closet on the top shelf in there, but I decided to move them in here because this is all kind of like utility stuff and tools and pet items. So since I have some extra space on the top shelf in there, I'm thinking I may get some smaller bins and put some of the wrapping up there. Since it's a top shelf and it's not something I need to access all the time, that might be a good place for some of the wrapping things, and I can just condense it down and just keep what I really think I'm going to use. So we have power cords and light bulbs here. This is the extra fish stuff, and you know, once the fish is gone, this is going to be gone. This light bulb, we just need to get a new one, so we're keeping this for reference of size, but we need to get a new one so we can replace the one that goes outside. And then these are just sprays like ants and hornets and things like that, because we used this over the summer. And then on this shelf is the tools, and I'll let my husband go through his tools. We do have a shed out back, but he likes to keep the most frequently used tools here, so he doesn't have to go outside to get them. Hopefully at the next house we'll have a garage and he can just keep the tools in there, and then he doesn't actually have to go outside to get the tools. He just goes into the garage. And these are the towels that we use for the dogs when they need washing, or if there's spills on the floor, or I usually set one out when I'm cleaning out the fish tank. Those are just extra towels for things like that. Then there's the bucket for the fish tank. And when we don't have a fish anymore, this bucket will go out in our shed or garage if we've moved. And then I just hung the little brush for cleaning out the fish tank there. And I have the dog food. And then this little bag has the dog's extra supplies. Just a little grooming kit, little sweater because one of my dogs gets really cold in the winter, so we put that on him. I think there's a harness and an extra collar in there. And then I put the 2 leashes that we used here. And I don't know if I'll keep it in this bag. I just happened to have this bag sitting in here and it was empty and it wasn't getting used, so I just used it to hold the dog stuff for now. And that is pretty much it. I think that's how it's going to be. So what didn't go back in there, obviously the wrapping paper didn't go back in there, but I do have a plan for what I'm going to do with that. This steam cleaner, it's too big, it will not fit in there. Really it should be upstairs because that's where our carpet is, so once I'm cleaning out closets up there, I may be able to move it there, or if not, it's just going to go to our storage unit and then we'll just bring it in when we need to use it. And then the other thing that was in there is like bubbles and pull things and like outdoor toys or sidewalk chalk in there, stuff like that. I'm gonna go through this and condense it down some, and I'm probably gonna go in this closet, or some of it may go out in the shed, I'm not sure yet, but I will go through all of that once I do this area, and I'll do another video for this area as well. So that is it for decluttering and organizing this utility closet. I hope you guys like watching, and I will see you again soon.